Dew III and Vice Mayor Benjamin K. Mullins. Council members A. Ralph Casey, David K. Clements, J. Tyler Lee, Mark H. Newbill, and Lucas A. Tuning. Also participating this evening are staff members as noted.
We can do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, you have the agenda in front of you. We'll need an approval of the agenda before we get started.
So moved. Second.
In a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The agenda is approved. Next, we have the consent agenda. You've all had a chance to review it, hopefully. Any motions?
So moved.
Have a motion?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That is approved. All right, we've got two special items this evening. Chief Young will start with the introduction of new police officers.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. It's good to see everyone. I'll be fairly brief this afternoon. Just you'll see some familiar faces, but I just wanted to make sure that they got out here in front of you and you had names and faces so that you'll be seeing all these folks around. But first, Lieutenant McCarty, if you'd come up. This is Lieutenant Jeff McCarty. He just came on board last week. If you're not familiar with him, he was with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, and he's a former Rocky Mount firefighter. He lives in the town of Rocky Mount, and he's taken the role of our Special Operations Lieutenant. He'll be over investigations and school resource and our community outreach program. So just wanted him to see all of you and all of you to see him. Next, we have Officer Dylan Shipman. Today's actually Dylan's first day, and he is. Dylan is also a current Rocky Mountain firefighter, but spent several years with the Sheriff's Office. He's got 5 years of experience, and he's coming to join us here at the Police Department. Going to be in our patrol division, and like I said, I think a lot of you know him, but I just want to make sure you put a face with the name. And so, Officer Dylan Shipman, he'll be in patrol.
Welcome.
All right, and then if Officer Tyler White would come forward. I have a little something to read here first. So the Rocky Mount Police Department proudly announces the promotion of Officer Tyler White to the rank of sergeant. He will assume supervisory leadership as a shift sergeant in the patrol division. Officer White's a graduate of Radford University. He earned his bachelor's degree in criminal justice and forensics in 2020, laying a strong academic foundation for a future in public safety and investigative excellence. Sergeant White began his law enforcement career with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office in July 2020, serving honorably for over 2.5 years before coming to the Rocky Mount Police Department in February of 2023. Over the past 2 years, he has proven to be an asset to the department. He's reliable, proactive, and consistently focused on both officer development and community safety. In August 2024, Sergeant White completed the field training officer course, affirming his commitment to mentoring and guiding new officers. In March 2025, Sergeant White graduated from the prestigious 9-week-long Virginia Forensic Science Academy. His leadership qualities have been evident in every aspect of his service, and this promotion reflects his hard work, sound judgment, and growing influence within the department. Beyond his professional achievements, Sergeant White is supported by his wife of almost 5 years, Madison White. If you want to stand up, please. Madison is going to do the honors. We did this before when Sergeant King and Sergeant Burwell were pinned here. It's tradition in law enforcement to have a family member or relative pin you with your new rank. So we're going to have Madison pin Tyler with his sergeant's badge. Please join us in congratulating Sergeant Tyler White on this well-deserved accomplishment. We look forward to his continued leadership and the positive impact he will bring to the patrol team and the Rocky Mount community. Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. All right. Next, we have the Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month proclamation. Lee, if you could join me at the podium. That's right. All right, Lee, I'm going to read this, okay? This is the Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month proclamation. Whereas Alzheimer's disease is a progressive, degenerative brain disease tragically robbing individuals of their memories. And whereas in Virginia, over 164,000 people have Alzheimer's or related dementia. And whereas in the United States, there are more than 7 million people living with Alzheimer's disease, and unless there are medical breakthroughs to prevent or cure the disease, it is estimated that as many as 12.7 million people will have the disease by 2050. And whereas nearly 2/3 of those with Alzheimer's disease are women. And whereas Alzheimer's is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States and kills more than breast cancer and prostate cancer combined. Whereas the Alzheimer's Association is the world's leading voluntary health organization in Alzheimer's care, support, and research, with the vision of a world without Alzheimer's disease and all other dementia. Whereas the longest day on June 20th, a sunrise to sunset event symbolizing the challenging journey of those living with the disease and their caregivers, offers everyone the opportunity to get involved in the fight. Whereas the town of Rocky Mount offers its support to those living with Alzheimer's disease, we also recognize those who care and provide for them, sharing their loved ones' emotional, physical, and financial strains. We honor their compassion, remember those we've lost, and press together the next great scientific breakthrough. Therefore, we, Mayor Holland Perdue and Town Manager Robert Wood, proclaim June Alzheimer's and the Brain Awareness Month in the town of Rocky Mount and call upon, as we paint Rocky Mount purple, all residents to show their support on the longest day, June 20th, by wearing purple and engaging in a day of activities honoring the strength, passion, and endurance of people facing Alzheimer's disease. This, the 9th day, June 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council, and Rebecca. And my team, Paint Rocky Mount Purple. There are 19 on our team this year. This is some of them. We also have a couple of businesses, Mountain to Lake Realty and Hayward's Jewelers. And I know other folks will be having posters and all around as well. On the 20th at 7 o'clock, that Friday, at the high school track, rain or shine, I guess unless there's lightning, we'll be having a walk run. So you are welcome to come out, walk, run, whatever you'd like, or just wave a flag, cheer us on. And personally, my goal is the theme is $20 for 20 laps on the 20th. 20-20-20. Last year I did 20-20-20. The year before that was 21-21-21 for a swim. So anyway, but we had a great turnout last year. The town was well represented with several of the folks and family members, and we'll have a team out to help and a lot of folks. But yes, my goal is less than an hour. So training's going well. So hope to see as many of you as we can on June 20th, 7 o'clock at the high school track. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lee.
Thank you. Keep up the good work.
We have 2 items on new business this evening. Item 1, name the newly constructed road off of Weaver Street to honor former council member Sadie Tuning. Are you presenting?
Yeah. So, Council, you have in front of you a map that shows the street that we're proposing to put a name on. That street has actually been there for a few years and hasn't had a name, so we decided it was time to name it. And Mayor Perdue and I talked quite a bit about it, and what we're proposing is that the street be named after Mrs. Sadie Tuning, who was a council member for the town of Rocky Mount. I'm gonna look at my notes to make sure I get the dates right. She was appointed to the council in 2001. Mrs. Tuning was elected to council in 2004 and then served through 2008. So she served 7 years. I think I got that right. Yeah. So for 7 years on the council, and I looked at Lucas, 'cause I think y'all all know that, but we're talking about his mother, so that's why I'm making sure I got all the information right. But so the proposal is to name the stretch of road right off of Weaver Street where Davis Heating and Cooling is located, Absolute Collision, and now Rocky Mount Ready Mix is moving in down at that area, to name that piece of road there after Mrs. Tuning or Councilmember Tuning, and it takes council action to do that, so that's what we're here to do.
Make a motion.
Yes,
I have a motion. And a second.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to name the newly constructed street off of Weaver Street in honor of the former council member Sadie Tunin.
Second. Got a second. All right. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Lucas, I'm glad you didn't oppose that.
Next, the second item we have on new business is the improvements to Mary Elizabeth Park.
Good evening, council. It's, as a former Parks and Recreation professional, it's always nice to bring Parks and Recreation projects. The town is blessed with a number of parks and a great public works department that maintains them. But this one's for Mary Elizabeth Park. You have a map in front of you. I know that you all know Mary Elizabeth Park, but the map is for reference. It's just a Google map. So in the upcoming FY '26 CIP, council approved $50,000 for the renovation of the surfaces, resurfacing for the existing tennis courts, basketball courts, and pickleball courts. What I'm bringing to you tonight is a slight modification, meeting on site with the town manager and also Brian Schofield with Public Works. Our discussion centered around arrangements of those amenities at Mary Elizabeth Park to best utilize that limited space while maintaining open space there as well. We have a number of things that take up space, but we also have some open space there that, in my opinion, every park needs, some green open space. So what the recommendation is from staff is to make a modification to the location of the basketball court that is currently very close to the Franklin Center, to relocate that basketball court up onto one of the tennis courts, leaving one tennis court and adding a basketball court up there with fencing to separate the tennis court from the basketball court. Down on the existing basketball court, when we resurface, we would add 3 pickleball courts. I think the need is there for more pickleball courts. The use of the tennis courts is very lacking, and I think this will be the best use of park amenities, and staff think that as well. That would bring an additional cost of $30,000 to relocate that basketball court up onto one of the tennis courts. And that's what's before you tonight.
All right. Questions of Mr. Moore?
So I guess I got a couple questions, just because I'm a tennis guy and I'm all for parks. Why now, I guess, is my question. If we've already budgeted 52, are we going to include another 30? Why didn't you just go ahead and put that in the budget a month ago? Question number one. And then when would this be taking place? I guess 2 questions.
So the answer to the first question is, as I mentioned, we met on site to make to look at best use of space. That wasn't something considered 2 months ago when we did our budget, so that's why it wasn't in there. And number two, it would take place sometime over FY '26. So you probably couldn't do that resurfacing in the winter. So I would imagine it would be in the fall or in the spring.
Gotcha.
I know we've had some vandalism recently, and we put up the cameras down at the basketball court. Do we have cameras currently at the tennis court? We do. I see Schofield shaking his head, yeah. I just know the basketball court's typically where it gets a little riled up.
And we would make modifications as needed, considering the relocation.
Other questions, Mr. Moore? Any thoughts? Any motions?
I'll make a motion to proceed with what was just presented, the amendment to our budget.
I second it.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Opposed?
One opposed. You got that, Rebecca?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, we have the hearing of citizens this evening. We have one person signed up to speak, Ms. Glenna Moore. Ms. Moore?
Thank you. Good evening, Glenna Hawkins Moore. Virginia Tech was given $3 million by the Andrew Mellon Foundation to select and support 9 projects in Appalachian, Virginia. Virginia Tech found our story intriguing because the story of the United States colored troops was not included in early Virginia history textbooks. That caused 1960s African American high school students like me to go through most of our lives not knowing that our ancestors fought in the Civil War, and likely responsible for the Union winning the war and the freedom of 4 million enslaved people. Thankfully, the project Raising the Shade, Franklin County, Virginia, 1850 to 1910, will be documented from start to finish by several media sources, such as Buzz for Good and PBS. The Mellon Foundation and Virginia Tech know the value of leaving for posterity a documentary of how the project was received and the road to educating the community and unveiling a 9-foot statue designed by renowned sculptors Paul DiPasquale and Rick Weaver. My genuine thanks to town officials whose schedules allowed them to attend and greet the 200-plus registered guests at the Educational Forum on May 31st. The program opened with an original song, Fighting for My Freedom, written by Denny Roby and performed by his family. This impressive community program was planned by a committee that included Raymond Williams, Benny Gibson, Andy Buckman, Carl Edwards, Jerry Salibi, Bethany Worley, B. Naff Bailey, and Justin Muse. The forum's keynote speaker was Ph.D. Carrie Mosley Hobbs, whose book is entitled More Than a Fraction, with fraction being the surname of Dr. Hobbs' enslaved Montgomery County ancestors. Dr. Hobbs spoke passionately about her third great-grandfather, Jack, who was proud of his West African birthplace. The book continues with a focus on Dr. Hobbs' second great-grandfather, Thomas Fraction, who enlisted and served in the United States colored troops as a private who was elevated to sergeant. Now listen to this. Chapter 11 of the book focuses on Isabella Tate, wife of the main character, Thomas Fraction. I asked Dr. Hobbs if Isabella is a fictitious character, whether her time in Rocky Mount as described in her book is true. Dr. Hobbs emailed this brief response. Yes, in Isabella Tate's statement given on October 21st, 1895, she reports to the U.S. Pension Office that her parents were Banks and Jenny Tate, and that she was born as a slave to Caleb Tate, 5 miles outside of Rocky Mount, Virginia, in Franklin County. She said she lived as a slave till freed by Lincoln's proclamation. Dr. Hobbs continues by saying, we think Isabella met Thomas Fraction at some point during her enslavement in Franklin County, Virginia. Thomas was sometimes rented out for his labor to other plantations, especially because he could do iron work. Records show that Isabella and Thomas Fraction were in a legally recognized marriage in 1870. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. There being no one else signed up and nothing else left on the agenda, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. The meeting's adjourned.